Now, even as someone in the fashion industry, I find buying a swimming costume very challenging, which is why I'm off to see Shivan Narresh, India's swimwear expert. So here we are at Shivan Narresh's new store in Select City Walk. Let's dive in and ask them some questions. Swimwear. What, did you watch too much Baywatch when you were growing up? What was the reason for swimwear?
Growing up to that.
I mean, I think it was very gradual since college. Any assignment we were given, it was the skimpiest possible thing we would make to like finish that assignment. Maybe it was probably to save all your efforts and time, but then I think that's kind of became like our usual thing of finishing an assignment, and there we are.
So it wasn't because you liked seeing women in a few centimeters of fabric that you thought, okay, I must do swimwear.
Well, that as well.
So you're India's first swimwear designers, and they say swimwear, as small as it is very complicated to construct.
Very, very.
Why? Tell us why swimwear is so complicated.
Well, there is lots which go in the inside of a swimwear than what it looks outside. Yes, designing part of it is anyways a challenge, and then when you go inside, then there are rubbers, there are elastics, there are pads, there is lining, there is so much which go in it. It's crazy.
So do you guys get to do lots of fittings with lots of pretty women because it's so complicated?
Unfortunately, because it's a ready-to-wear category, one has to standardize sizes. And so there's very little we get to see our clients. Very little trials really happen with us. But yes, it's a complicated category.
But nonetheless, even after saying ready to wear, but we still do customization. We do change of color. We do grant your wish.
Okay, so I know you've worked with lots of Bollywood, so that means you've been lucky enough to undress some of our Bollywood women?
Behind the curtain, yes.
Any secrets?
No.
Right now, of course, you're designing for Anushka, for Bombay Velvet. And you're doing a bunch of vintage swimwear, I believe, for that. So is that going to be what we're going to see next in your shows? A lot of vintage look?
I think retro's been quite a Shivan Narresh style. People tend to associate a lot of vintage 50s, 60s styles with us. And it's a good era to be associated with. I think it has a sense of modesty, a great sense of fashion.
Now we're here at the studio. This is where Shivan Narresh's story began. So Shivan Narresh, tell me, where did you guys first meet and how did this partnership start?
So it's a very candid story actually. We met outside our classrooms while both of us were detained for making two respectively very skimpy outfits in our own class. We both were from different departments. I was specializing in fashion and he was specializing in leather. And I was given an assignment to make a top for a banker woman. So I came up with a very, very skimpy halter top, which my faculty got really offended and asked me to get out of the class.
And what did you design that was so skimpy in leather? That sounds a bit risque, leather and skimpy.
So interlacing is a big technique in leather, like how intricato it is say in Italian. So I was supposed to make a product out of interlacing, and I made a leather bikini with strings just passing over like on the side and like forming like a whole crazy piece. And she's like, my teacher's like, what is this? And I'm like, interlacing assignment. She's like, redo.
Okay, so while we're on college, I hear one of you had a penchant for sketching naked women when you were at school. Which one is it?
Well, I mean, since school, I believe, like, I saw a few like images of paintings of like naked women. I would like just recreate them, and I would be really scared. Like, I was like, what if my mom catches them? Like, she's like, what is this crap? And I'm like, that's how I used to hide them behind like graph papers and stuff. Yeah.
So from naked women, you guys progressed to swimwear.
Yeah, I mean that's the skimpiest you could
land of women. How does it work? Is one of you the business person, one of you the design person? How does it work?
Actually, in our case, both of us are more of design people. It's just that we are realizing that, you know, to step out and like keep growing, you need to inculcate business and like those attributes, and it's a little difficult, but yeah, it comes with time. Yeah.
I'll see you next week when I'll have some other very chic designer here, and I'll be asking them more questions on style.